This girl's name is Pride. After an accident, she found herself reincarnated as the worst boss in the game. In order to avoid the fate of being overthrown, Pride used her memories from her past life to save her father, who was supposed to die in an accident. She told him that there was something wrong with the carriage and insisted that he get it checked. This ability was no different from predicting the future. However, her father didn't suspect anything, as it was common for the royal family in this country to have the ability to foresee the future. The person who possesses this ability is regarded as the heir to the throne. After saving her father, Pride learned that her mother was still alive. In the original storyline, her father's death led to her mother passing away from grief. But now, both her parents were still alive, which meant that the game's plot could be rewritten. Since her father had awakened his power, he adopted a boy to assist the future queen. The boy's name was Stale, from a common family, but he had the power of teleportation. To prevent him from escaping, he had to wear handcuffs that sealed his abilities before the contract was signed the next day. When Pride saw this, she thought of a scene from the game. That night, the original heroine would manipulate Stale's mother into tricking him into signing a vassal contract. Stale had no suspicions, but after signing, Pride mocked him for not being able to read, as what he signed was not a vassal contract, but a slave contract. After understanding the original plot, Pride decided to change the future. She stole the key from her father, hoping to help Stale escape, but to her surprise, he refused. If he escaped, his mother would not have a good outcome. Upon hearing this, Pride realized she hadn't thought things through. In the game, the heroine deceived Stale into obtaining formal permission to see his mother. Though Stale couldn't escape, he understood that Pride truly cared for him. He quickly promised to assist her and forget about his mother as soon as possible. The next day, with a priest as a witness, both parties signed a vassal contract, making Stale the king's adopted son and Pride's sworn brother. Having just arrived at the castle, Stale had to study the city's etiquette. Luckily, Pride took good care of him, showing him around and allowing him to speak casually. For the past few days, Stale had been doing well, but then he suddenly fell ill. Thankfully, it was just a common cold. In his sleep, Stale uttered his mother's name, which made Pride feel uneasy. In the original game, Pride had made the 7-year-old Stale personally kill his mother. Thinking about this, Pride couldn't help but cry. Stale saw her in tears, but he didn't fully understand the situation. Suddenly, he was hugged by Pride. Because of Pride, Stale had been forced to part from his mother. To make up for this, she swore to become a great queen. The next day, Stale went to meet the king. On the way, he reflected on the past and realized that Pride, like his mother, was hiding something from him. At that moment, Pride hugged him from behind and said she had something important to tell him. She then led him to the king, who handed Stale a letter. It was a letter from his mother. He couldn't believe it. The king explained that it was because of Pride that Stale had received this letter. Hearing this, Stale burst into tears in Pride's arms. Although this was a beautiful moment, the ministers assisting the king didn't seem happy about it. Later, when Stale returned to his room to write a reply, he overheard someone speaking ill of Pride. Using his teleportation magic, he arrived at the bushes and discovered that it was one of the ministers. The minister was accusing the princess of breaking the law. Stale was furious and considered telling the king, but he knew the king trusted the minister more. So, he decided to become stronger to protect Pride. Meanwhile, Pride's mother was speaking with Tiara, telling her that she would meet her older siblings today. Tiara, hearing this, was a bit anxious, wondering if her older siblings would like her. After the ceremony began, Pride and Stale's entrance was met with a warm reception from the crowd. Shortly after, Stale gave a speech that earned applause from everyone.